You know when you're driving in a blinding storm, right? And you grip the steering wheel so hard, your knuckles turn white.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like you're somehow keeping the car on the road by sheer force of will.
Exactly. I mean, you aren't actually changing the weather or making the car heavier. You're just, taking physical action to trick your brain into feeling a sense of agency. So, okay, let's unpack this. Today we are doing a deep dive into sources that mash up ancient scripture.
Right, specifically Ezekiel chapter 25.
Yeah, combining that with a really raw modern reflection on a parent's ultimate nightmare, which is kidnapping. Our mission today is to figure out how we actually let go of control when we are just utterly terrified for the people we love.
Well, to understand that modern panic, we actually have to start with the ancient text. Ezekiel 25 paints this really intense picture of divine wrath, promising vengeance on two ancient nations, Edom and the Philistines.
Right, and it's pretty brutal, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The text says Edom will be made desolate from Teman to Dedan, which, in ancient terms, that's like saying destruction will sweep from the northernmost tip of the country all the way down to the southern border.
Wow, so just total inescapable dismantling.
Exactly. And for the Philistines, it talks about cutting off the Cherethites. That basically meant severing the nation's very roots because of their endless enmity against Judah.
It's just an incredibly sweeping decree. But I mean, if you strip away the ancient geography, you're left with a very primal human instinct.
Yeah, that deep desire for justice.
Right. Like when someone attacks your people, you crave that total inescapable justice. You just want to protect your tribe at all costs.
You do. And what's fascinating here is the stated motive behind this ancient wrath. The text explicitly says, this judgment happens so the nations will know that I am the Lord.
Oh, okay, so it's not just blind rage.
No, not at all. This isn't just chaotic reactive anger. It's really an assertion of absolute cosmic order.
And that craving for absolute cosmic order, I mean, that is exactly what the modern author was grappling with when his own family was threatened.
Precisely. So his eldest daughter went on a distant mission trip, and he received news that a nearby missionary had actually just been abducted by a criminal syndicate.
Oh, man, that is terrifying.
Utterly terrifying. And as an earthly father, his immediate reaction was, well, cinematic. He started picturing a scenario straight out of an action movie.
Like tracking the criminals down and all that.
Exactly. Tracking them down, rescuing the victim, and taking this violent, immediate revenge.
It's the ultimate fantasy of parental control, really. I mean,
yeah.
He just wanted to demand she come home so he could physically guard her himself.
He did. He was just completely paralyzed by the realization that he couldn't play that action hero role.
But I actually have to push back on this a bit. Because is comparing God, or even just a righteous response, to an action movie vigilante actually helpful here?
How do you mean?
Well, doesn't that limit our understanding of divine peace? Because an action hero is usually operating out of desperation, right? They're sweating and bleeding to fix a mistake. A sovereign power wouldn't be desperate like that.
That's a great point. It does limit divine peace, sure. But I think, in that moment of absolute panic, the author didn't want peace.
Right. He wanted
a rescue op. He was terrified, so he had to hit that brutal wall of sheer helplessness before he could even begin to understand what divine sovereignty meant in practice.
So how does he actually make that mental leap? Like, how do you flip the switch from wanting to be an action hero to embracing total surrender without just feeling, completely defeated?
Well, he did it by realizing that playing the action hero was really just a coping mechanism for his own anxiety.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so during his quiet time, he had this profound epiphany. He realized he couldn't protect his daughter across the globe, but God was already there.
Just actively overseeing things.
Right, actively overseeing her every breath and every meal. He didn't just stop worrying, he actively transferred the job of protector back to the only entity capable of doing it.
So what does this all mean? I mean, for you listening right now, it challenges you to look at the situations in your own life that you're trying to white knuckle out of pure fear.
Right, like we talked about with the steering wheel.
Exactly. Are there people you love that you are suffocating by trying to protect them? Or maybe you're holding on to fantasies of revenge against someone who wronged you.
Trying to be the sovereign protector of your own universe, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
The paradox here is just striking. It is precisely the act of admitting your total powerlessness that grants the human brain ultimate psychological peace.
Because you stopped trying to do a job you weren't equipped for.
Exactly. When you entrust your loved ones and your deeply held desires for justice to a higher power, you're finally free from that paralyzing grip of anxiety.
Which leaves us with a final thought to mull over. If you operated under the absolute certainty that perfect justice was already guaranteed by a higher power, how would that instantly change the way you interact with those who wrong you today?
That is a tough question.
It really is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to finally loosen that grip on the steering wheel.